What is up, everyone? It's your boy Hove coming to you on a Saturday, and I wanted to make this video because it's been a while since I've done a weekly outlook video, but it's been because there hasn't really been much change on gaining certain levels or invalidating certain counts. But I believe that this week is going to be an important week for us, and I wanted to set you guys up way ahead of time so we can position ourselves correctly to take advantage of what might happen. Now, as you can see, I have the ES chart in front of me, and I'm going to walk you through a couple little things on it, but it's going to be the primary focus of this video. I will hit a little bit of Bitcoin, but primary focus is the ES because that is what's going to dictate what happens in the future. As you've seen all along over the last couple months, the ES and traditionals will dictate what happens with crypto because crypto and Bitcoin just follow it. So with that said, as you can see, I have the ES chart in front of us, and oh boy, it is a wild one, and this move off the low has been a really good move. It's gained levels that we have been watching to break for a while. Let me pull up that chart. Actually, never mind. I'll come back to that later. But from the low, this is how I'm seeing it. Obviously, we have this 1, 2, and we're working on that third, or it's A, B, and we're working on this C. Now, I like this count the best, where this is the 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're working on that fifth. Now, this will limit the upside of this 3 for this count, because right now, wave 3 is shorter than wave 1, so wave 3 can't be the shortest. So this has a limited upside for this count of around 43.86. With that said, there is another count that James posted that would work as well. But either this is a completed ABC down, which it looks like a lot. I mean, we've been following that ABC down for quite a while. We've been hoping that it gains the levels that it has. It looks pretty bullish in my opinion. Now, where I get concerned is when I look back on history and I look for similarities. I can't help but look at 2008, which was the last major downturn. And I'm seeing a lot of the same similarities. Now, if this isn't an ABC, the best bearish count that I can think of outside of it being some double zigzag that we don't know yet, I can see this as a leading diag for A, which is definitely bearish. Because these all look like 5 waves. This looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we would get a 5 waves down to complete the fifth of the A before a retrace, and then ultimately the C wave. So let me jump to the other chart where I have 2008 available. Or up in front of us, not available. And when we look at it, we're going to start seeing some scary similarities. This move down looks like 5 waves. This move down looks like 5 waves. And this move down looks like 5 waves. And it's all overlapping and it's all expanding. If we go ahead and look here, we can see that's expanded. You can obviously see that this is bigger, and you can obviously see that this is bigger. When I go ahead and start extending these lines out, things get even more sketchy. Nice little expanding diag there. So in this case, we would be in this fourth. So we'll go ahead and pull a fib from the top through this third. Gets rejected at the 618, likely tick of the 6.5, little bit through the 6.5. Go ahead and open that up just slightly a bit more. So you can see it gets through a little bit and then it just rips down to that trend line. If it did exactly the same and rips down to that trend line on this year's, it would be crazy. But then you get, after you get this 5 waves, you get a basically 618 retrace before just a straight nuke to a -236 algo target. This definitely looks like another impulse here. It looks like an ABC there. But the scary part is right where it comes through for us. So we'll go ahead and pull it over to here. And as you can see here, it comes up and tags, just gets through the POC and then rejects and sells off. And then if we look, I'll pull that fib back up. Let me delete this one just so it's not super cluttered. Right about there. So gets through the POC, wicks through it, wicks through the 6.5 by a hair, and then sells off. Then when we jump back to this year's, same thing. We have this POC. I extended it out to that 44.36 level. And that's where we're about to approach. Now, because I said this is limited at that 43.86, it can push a little bit higher. I can be wrong there. And it's James's count. Actually, let me pull that up. Give me just a second. I'll pull it up so we can all see it. Where was that? Here we go. All right, so this was his count, where obviously this would be A, B, and C. But as you can see, it would have another leg up to finish, which could get us there. I don't know exactly what those numbers would be, but oops. I wanted to keep that up for a second just to compare it right here. I'm going to make it kind of small just so I can, actually, as soon as I click on that chart, it's going to go away. So he has it, I guess I'll get on a lower time frame. He has it like this, where this is still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but this is 1, 2. Then we'd be completing the 3. So let's go ahead. I'll go ahead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm putting this in just blue, just so we're aware that this is a different color or a different count. If we get up to here, that would push it up to that POC. If we do get that 4th, then 5th. The reason I went with the count that I did, though, is because I think this looks more like a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5th than it does a completed impulse here, but that's just my opinion. Now let's go back. I think I got a little sidetracked about how we would get there. But what I wanted to highlight was the similarities to 2008, where we're not out of the woods yet. But I think if we can get above this POC and ultimately, let's put the 6.5 on here. Ultimately get a close, heavy close above this resistance level and POC and that 6.5, I think there's a good chance that we'll move on to see new highs. Now, I'll go back to the other chart that's comparing 2008, but that would be irrelevant at this point. I'm just using it to show what that overall count would be. As we've been falling for quite some time, I think the count would get us to, let me go ahead and pull that fib. Let me remove some of this to just clean it up a little bit. That would have been the fourth. Wait, no. Where are we? I think I have it on this chart. Let me clean this up just so once I pull it out, it's not super busy. You've seen everything. All right. Get out to this 3-day. But we'd have a pretty high price target, in my opinion. If this is a fifth wave of whatever this is, I think we'd at least see this upper boundary line. It's pretty tricky, but I would expect 5,500-ish, maybe even higher. This is so high up there. And we don't really know if the algos are behind this because it never tagged any of this. So we don't get to see a reaction. But man, if this is the case, what I would do to try to find some parity is to trace this one, project it. Jeez, I can't even see the wick down. Let me zoom in there now. Project it from right here. Okay. Now I'll zoom back out so we can see it. 100% of the one would be that 49.84 level. Seems a little shallow, I'm not gonna lie. This could all end up being a wave 1, pull back for wave 2, all the way up here. So, I mean, it's not out of the question. Let's see what, obviously we have to see how it develops, but I'm just trying to see if I can get some projection out of here. A 618 of that third is super high up there. So I'd like the parity between the 1 and the 4 rather than the wave 3 and 4, because this wave 3 was just so nuts. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to go over the highlights of the difference between, or the differences and similarities between now and 2008 to keep us well aware of the dangers we're going to see right here. But if we can close above this, I think there is a strong chance that we are going to see new highs. Like James's count, if it is, I feel like I gotta keep jumping back and forth between times, so I'll go ahead and put his count on here. That would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know if this is going to stop there, but I'll just go ahead and kind of fake project. And then 3, 4, 5 here. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go ahead and do that. I'll do a little projection from there. That seems about right. It's getting busy, so I'll delete these. So if we were to get something like this, I'll color it in blue. Something like that, to where it could even extend at any point in time. But we would then look for a retrace to get behind, which will likely happen. I would assume it'd be somewhere around here. Holding this level would be very key, obviously. I've mentioned that many times before. If that's a 1, 2, or if we get that 1, 2, target for 3 is at 6,200, and then could get that ultimate target up there. obviously we have to take it step by step. I'm not gonna say we're getting to 6,800 right now. It seems so far away. But yeah, you've seen what I'm looking at. This is such a huge area. I had to do this video to show what I'm seeing, and if we can get above this, man, it's pretty bullish in my opinion. Now, let me go ahead and look at Bitcoin because I know most are more focused on crypto than the ES, but it's really important to follow the ES. So here we are. Now, I posted this the other day and said if we can get a high time frame close, which I think a 3-day is a good enough high time frame. If we can close above this level, I think we're gonna get this 29K level. It's gonna be heavy resistance because you have the Val. Mika pointed this out the other day. You also have this 618, this 618, all this traffic right here. And then when I go here, I'll pull this chart up. And then when I look at some of our accounts that we've been following, we're rejecting what this base channel would be. It's also a perfect, let me pull this over, perfect 382, almost to the tick each time. And so we're not out of the woods. But if ES carries, I expect, I hate to say this, but I expect that 29K level to hit. It doesn't invalidate anything on BTC though, in my opinion. If we were to get above this major resistance, then I would probably flip full bull at that point. But obviously I'm going to take a look at ES because that's super important. So far, this has been a series of higher highs and higher lows, which is bullish. And we've seen this time and time again where we'll get these series of higher highs and higher lows. And many people are looking at it as this rising wedge that's just going to dump out and be bearish. But we've seen it time and time again where it looks like this rising wedge that's going to be bearish, and we'll get this like slight small retrace before it just like pumps like crazy. So we have to be aware of that. And as I mentioned so many times, I never know exactly what's going on. I have game plans and probabilities, and I let the market do its thing. I'm not the person, and I don't think any trader should be the kind of person that gets stuck in a certain bias or screams at the top of the mountains of, oh, we're bearish. This is just like 2008. It's for sure going down. You guys are fucking idiots. And vice versa on the other side, like bottoms in, you guys are going to get left behind, yada, yada, yada. You see it all the time. And these people, they're doing whoever is following them a severe disservice, but they're also doing the same thing to themselves because ultimately it doesn't matter what we think. The market and the price action is what matters. You need to be able to adjust on the fly and admit to yourself that you're wrong and then make up for it by doing the next thing right. A lot of people will have either been shorting this forever and, oh, I'm just going to get another short, stop out, just another short, stop out. And then we're going to be all the way at 56,000 and they're going to be calling for the same shit, and they've lost money this whole way and haven't gained any of this fucking 100% upside, which makes no sense to me. I mean, yeah, you can stay with your convictions, but at some point you need to check your ego at the door and make some money. That's what this is all about. So yeah, I went off on a rant, but I hope this video helped with just giving you an idea of what I'm watching and how I'm playing it, but also adjusting accordingly along the way. Yeah. as always, if you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up. Also, if you have any chart requests, throw them in the channel. I really only pay attention to alts or certain alts when you guys request them because I can't follow everything. Right now, to me, the most important things are Bitcoin, the ES, gold, and Ethereum. Ethereum looks really great off the lows, but that doesn't really mean shit. We've seen these crazy moves off the low just get completely faded. I'll go ahead and show you what I'm talking about. This is Ethereum. I had that up on another chart. Nothing has really changed, but this is a great move off the low. I cannot deny that. We're seeing a little bit of divergence here, heading into the merge narrative, but I'll go all the way back to 2018 and I'll show you an absolutely tear of moves that just get completely nuked. This is one of them. This was in 2018 or 2019, I believe, end of 2019. But this is the one that, whoa, what the hell? Let me hide that. This is the one that I think about every single time I see a move like this on Ethereum. This looks like a beautiful impulse off the low. And from that exact low, where is it? From the low to the high, 130%. Let's see what this looks like. I'm kind of just doing this a little short of that 618. See what that looks like. Okay. It actually put in a stronger little fifth here. Could have been some form of triangle there. 130% from the low. Looks super impulsive, but gets completely faded for an extra 90% retrace. Not saying that's what's going to happen, but as of right now, we're approaching that heavy resistance, that 618, and how high off the low are we? 130%. Eerily similar, I will say that. That's all I'm gonna say. I mean, for ETH, I guess I'll cover a little bit. For ETH, getting over this level is huge in my opinion. High time frame close, 3 days or above this 2600 level, I say. And man, you know, the next target. Actually, let me pull that up. These charts are so busy. That next target, 8 grand, 11 grand. I haven't adjusted these, so let me adjust that. I'll adjust this one. I think this is the right pull. Yeah. So if that's the case, throw this channel on there. I'll go ahead and pull this all the way over. That confluence area is right here. 1272 and that 236. Whoa, 236. Between 7,500 and 8,300, we could say. We'll have to see how it develops, obviously, but if this is an impulse, we could be finishing something. Get a little retrace. 3, 4, 5, up into that level. Could be higher. All right, guys. That's it for me. Saturday, 10 a.m. I got to get outside. Have a good weekend.